Hi, everybody. Welcome to the fourth web series hosted by BSL and AEPC on digitalization and automation, the heads turners. My name is Sanju Prakash, and I've been working with Alvanon as a regional business consultant, handling the region India and Middle East. I have over 20 years of experience in the apparel industry, and I'll be the host for the day. And we have three speakers. I will take you through their profile and just a quick, overview. Over the years, the apparel industry has evolved, and the challenges we face today are to deliver products faster, cheaper, and through more transparent and sustainable supply chains. The traditional methods cannot really efficiently handle the needs and the efforts being taken to investigate new approaches, including the use of digitalization and automation. Just a refresher, there are three domains where DNA is being implemented in the fashion industry, named the design phase, the make phase, and the sell phase. Through these web series, we are trying to create an awareness in the industry as to how brands and manufacturers can leverage the digital and automation technology in the processes.
As per a report by Coresight and Calypso, the average DPC maturity in retail in 2020 was 4.05 out of 5, which is projected to grow 4.49 by the end of 2024. So it's a good time to have these conversations.
Just a quick question, I know. Can you share some thoughts regarding how brands can get started with or take the initial steps towards digitalization? So there are many brands, which were contemplating to implement, but, where to start from. So I think it'll be really helpful to, hear it from the expert.
Yeah, no, that's a good question, because I think often we have a lot of information, we just don't know where to begin with. So seemingly small, this is actually a big problem. So in my opinion, the first step would be to do your own research. The industry has already done plenty of talking through webinars like this one. And there are articles, there are reports that are almost always freely accessible. So that's the first step. Do your own research, and then working with independent consultants and agencies like Noform that can plan a strategy and help you implement that. That would be a way to go. In terms of the process, if you want to start already internally, you can begin with digitizing, meaning converting all the analog and physical data into digital formats. So this means digitizing your materials, digitizing the garment blocks, digitizing the dress forms. So everything that you work with, but now in a digital format for a digital 3D environment. And while you're doing it, you can create libraries with proper nomenclature for all these assets. So these are some of the steps that companies can already take. I do, however, want to emphasize on one thing in your question. You mentioned that contemplating. So these, I'm hoping the mindset has already changed, because, and the management is also part of this process, because actually changing the mindset is one of the hardest part of digital transformation.
Sanju. Thank you for your insights, Rahul. So the other question that comes to my mind, there are brands who've implemented DPC, and in some of the areas of product creation cycle. Can you share some insight regarding how these brands can really harness the full potential of DPC? So that they can really go the whole hog. Yeah.
Of course, yes. So like any kind of implementation of technology, there is a cost involved with that, right? And the initial cost is usually high. So it's important to understand how to maximize the value of these assets. So when we talk about 3D transformation, it means a coordinated change effort at scale that diffuses through all the aspects of the business. So in that sense, brands can look at how to utilize these 3D assets which were created at the design phase, right? Retail is a perfect use case. I'm sure Mr. Sunil will talk more about that. But we know that retail has always stayed a step ahead in innovation, and it is no different in current times when metaverse is in everybody's these radars. So these assets can be used for the retail. However, it's crucial to keep in mind that when we are creating these assets at design phase, they are true to life already. In other words, those are digital twins. So you are not unnecessarily creating a different set of assets for retail and a different set of assets for design. And for some brands, I mean, depending where you are in your digital journey, if metaverse is too far ahead, I mean, think about using these assets for e-commerce. You can have a very simple integration of 3D viewer, and customers can interact with the product and preview it from all different angles, which provides a much better shopping experience.
Yeah, that's really amazing to know, how 3D and DPC, I mean, how they can really be integrated till the last end and not just, look at them as the design tools, which used to be earlier. So as you know that there are three partners in the DPC implementation: the industry, the technology providers, and the educational institutes. So can you touch base and give us your insights on the role of education and training in DNA in the fashion industry? Because that partner cannot be left, and that's the starting point where the mindset change, or what you talked about just now, really what it originates from. Yeah.
No, totally. I can't agree more. And if we always, when we look at the supply chain or value chain, I think we have tendency to skip the educational institutes in the very beginning, because that's where it all starts. And it's a topic that's closer to my heart as well, because I have been a professor of fashion for many years, and I continue to do that through the trainings I provide. A couple of years ago, I read this article on Harvard Business Review, and it was about 3D digital transformation. It talks about how it's all about people and not the technology. And I couldn't agree more, because end of the day, people enable and make things possible. So, like they say, buying a camera doesn't make you a photographer. So purchasing a tool or technology is only meaningful when you combine it with the right education and training. So, and that has to be part of the strategy, the digital transformation strategy that the consultant and whoever is preparing for you. So yeah, investing in and upskilling your employees is the key. And on the other hand, I think educational institutes need to be a little bit more aggressive in adopting 3D in the curriculum, and they need to catch up with the speed at which the industry is changing. From my experience, as of now, there is a gap, there is a shortage, but there are also a lot of good initiatives. So I think, yeah, we're doing the right thing.
Yeah, as rightly said, the technology is ready, but I think the people and the mindset needs to catch up.
Yeah.
So it's very nice to know that that's the gap, and so once we know the gap, it can be addressed. So that is a big thing, to really know that where the gap is and how do we go forward. Thank you so much. Yeah. My other question is: it's often understood that digital means sustainable, because you're eliminating the samples, you're eliminating a lot of physical processes from the system. What are your views about what does sustainability really means in the area of digital product creation?
So this is another so this is another topic I really like to talk about, because I think fashion industry is quite notorious for its practices, and as of now, I mean, it's probably the most unsustainable industry out there. So I have a strong opinion about what sustainability means, and how much everybody likes to talk about it, but without going in depth. And this is going to sound a little contradictory, but as much as I like working in 3D and talking about the adoption of digital technologies, it alone will not make fashion sustainable, or the practices of this industry sustainable. I mean, DPC definitely will accelerate the process, or has accelerated the process towards a digital and a better and a sustainable future of the fashion industry. It alone, it only remedies a small segment of the value chain, right? Sustainability is a much, it has a lot more gravity when you look at the concept. It's defined by the values of the people, the planet, the profit, and it requires all the three to prosper, to be fully sustainable. So yeah, it's a lot more complex, and I think the ethical and the human aspects of this system are often neglected when we talk about sustainability. But that being said, DPC is definitely a right step in the right direction, but we need to go a lot more in depth, and we need to address all the aspects of it. Yeah.
So yeah, thank you, Rahul, for your insights and for sharing your valuable thoughts about how brands who are at different juncture and the different journey, either they're starting 3D or already implemented 3D, how they can really leverage the full potential of DPC in the design phase. Thank you so much for your time.